Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
The Cuvee Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvee.
It's Pink Friday 2021, and here's a message from one of our survivors.
Hello, I'm Robin Roberts, and I am happy to join the American Cancer Society in the fight against breast cancer. As a breast cancer survivor and proud Mississippi native, I'm honored to support Pink Friday, a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness. We all have a part to play in this fight. And by working together, one day we are determined to find a cure for breast cancer. Get your tickets now to support this wonderful event.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together we can be the change.
AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Well, I got it. I got it.
Of course I got it.
I got it right after work.
That's right. I got the COVID-19 vaccine.
Because self-care.
I got it because I wanted to get back to my normal.
I was one of the first ones that got it. And now, I'm helping others get theirs.
So let's get it together. Sign up and get your vaccine today, and let's stop COVID in its tracks. Visit IGotItMS.com.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Caville of Dr. Caville's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Caville's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
The Cuvee Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvee.
It's Pink Friday.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the Pregame with your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready, because we pregame harder than the other show's part. It's the Pregame.
And welcome into the pregame show here on the Black College Sports Network. It is Charles Bishop and Neely. We're coming to you today live from the H&PE Arena here in Houston, Texas, on the campus of Texas Southern University, where our Jackson State Tigers, they get ready to do the Texas two-step this weekend. We start off here at Texas Southern, and then we go to Prairie View on Monday. But tell you what, tonight's a huge one for our Jackson State women's and men's basketball team, Neely.
Hey, man, can you hear me? You know,
I
all right. The reason I'm laughing is I love the randomness when people walk by and the awesome physique of that guy that just walked by. It just cracked me up, man. He looked like a walking letter B. He's like a capital He's like Sesame Street.
No doubt, man. I'll tell you what, Neil, we got a couple of special guests that are already here in the building. We have our Vice President of Collegiate Athletics, A.D. Ashley Robinson, is in the building, and our new Sports Information Director, Dwayne Lewis. So I'm going to bring these guys in a second or two, but, this is a huge game tonight. We mentioned it from the onset. Jackson State women's and men's team taking on two teams, I think, in Texas Southern. Texas Southern women's basketball team, they've won 4 games in a row. And then you take a look at the men's basketball team. They are tops in the league. So a huge weekend for both women and men.
Yeah, it is. And, Coach Tamika Reed, a while back, now before they left to get on this road swing of going to Alcorn and Texas Southern tonight, and in Houston, and then Prairie View on Monday, she talked about the challenges of going on this road swing, closing out the month of February, how big it was to make sure we got the wins. The Lady Tigers are undefeated in the SWAC. Don't want to leave any meat on the bone. Want to just finish out strong. Houston is a tough place to play. Texas is a tough place to play. A long way from home. Road and not in the comforts of your own environment. So it's going to be a big game, big challenge for the Lady Tigers. Coach Cynthia Cooper is once again going to have her team, playing tough and strong. And to have these games back-to-back, the Texas two-step, as you call it, the Lady Tigers, it's going to be an exciting game. There's some contrast in style we'll get into, but looking forward to it, man.
Looking forward to it. Of course, our ladies knocked off Texas Southern ladies back in January, I believe, January 7th. Huge victory over Texas Southern. But I think the Texas Southern basketball team, from a women's perspective, they've gelled a lot over the past month. They have 3 dynamic scorers. They have 4 scorers that are averaging double digits. But you talk about some of the ladies that they have. Ataya Bridges, she's averaging 15 points a game. They have another good lady, she's averaging 18 points a game. So this is a team that can put some points up, and they are tops in the league in 3-point field goal percentage. They get hot from 3-point land, they can give you some issues.
Well, some of the misnomers as far as that last victory that we had over them when they came to Jackson, they got in foul trouble. So some of their dominant scorers had to sit. So you're going to see them try to clean that up this afternoon. Averaging at least a 17-point victory per game. But Texas Southern is right there with us. They're scoring 69 points a game. We're scoring 77.4. So you're looking at about an 8-point differential between these two teams in offense. The number 1 and number 2 offenses in the SWAC going last time in the regular season.
No doubt, Coach Johnny Jones giving me the business, making sure the camera wasn't pinned toward the court as they're going through the walkthrough. But without further ado, let me bring in our AD Ashley Robinson, and he's going to introduce our new SID, Dwayne Lewis. So I'm going to bring him in. Turn over the headsets to the man.
Brother AD.
How you doing, sir?
Man, I cannot complain. Now, you see, when I was sitting there with Chuck, I didn't have a smile on my face. But when you sat down, I just started grinning when we get to spend some time with our Vice President, Associate, the Athletic Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Ashley Robinson. Man, glad to have you back with the pregame show. How's it feel to be there in Houston, bro?
Feel good, man. I feel really, really good, man. Before we get started, I just want to tell you all thank you, man. I really appreciate what you all are doing, not only for Jackson State, but what you're doing for HBCU. You, Bishop, Dr. Cuvee, Tally, and HBCU Game Day. I mean, you guys are doing outstanding, man. And I love the positive vibes, and I think we all come together as one. We had more shows like this. People that understand that in order for us to all come together and build HBCUs and build universities like Jackson State University, because we have all the tradition, we have all the Hall of Famers, we have it all. If you go check the history of HBCUs, I mean, you learn some things. I tell people, come see us, come visit us, read about us, and, you'll see some of the exciting things, and that perception that you have in your mind, it definitely will turn positive. So I just want to tell you, I really appreciate you, both of you guys, and what you do, not only for Jackson State University, but what you do for HBCU.
Hey, brother, we appreciate hearing it from you. Appreciate the access that you afford this program and others to come out and really showcase what Jackson State athletics is all about in this HBCU space and just this higher education space, because it is way bigger than just the brand of JSU HBCUs. This is about uplifting, leveling the playing field, changing lives, man, challenging minds, and you are at the forefront, the tip of that spear, because we know the athletics is the front door of universities to the world. So you're doing an exceptional job in that regard, man, and we trust in your leadership. Since the last time we had you on, some things have become official, such as that true schedule, not that grainy graphic that circulated the internet, but that true schedule. Talk to us, brother AD, about putting that schedule together and what that schedule means for the Jackson State Tigers.
The schedule is really a big deal when it comes to football. A lot of people put a lot of energy into that schedule. And, for us, it's really big. And, building that schedule for Jackson State is something, very important to me, very important to Coach Prime, very important to President Hudson, because it's very important to our alumni and our supporters and our fans and our student athletes. So we want to make sure that we put a schedule together that's very beneficial for our alumni and supporters. And, a lot of people look at the schedule this year, it's a schedule 11 games, 4 home games, one game, home game. We took the Mobile. And one of the reasons, talking about that Mobile Classic, Robert Brazil is one of our Hall of Famers. It's time for Jackson State to start recognize their alumni and their supporters and their Hall of Famers, to start showing some respect, to our former athletes and our alumni and supporters. And that's what that game is really all about. Robert Brazil played a big part in making that game happen. He went to the city. He made sure the city understood, hey, in order for Jackson State to come here, they got to be beneficial. He made sure that the city did a really, really good job. The Gulf Coast Challenge guy, Kevin Ball down there, did a really, really good job. And Robert Brazil made sure Jackson State University would take care of him. And I'm gonna emphasize that, man. Jackson State University is well taken care of. So with that particular game in Mobile, you know, that's the type of ties that we need to use for our alumni, our Hall of Famers, and show some respect, you know, to our Hall of Famers. So let's start going in their areas and doing some things and bringing that tie together. Because, you know, once you bring Jackson State University together, there's no other bigger university, you know. So we want to continue to do those type of things. You know, the schedule, we start off with Miami again, you know, with the Miami Classic, and then we go to Tennessee to play Tennessee State. We'll go to Memphis, and then we'll come back home and non-conference game against Grambling, which I think will be a huge game. WC Boyd Classic weekend. Then we'll have Mississippi Valley, and then we'll take a day off, and then we'll go to Alabama, play a game at Alabama State, and then we'll come home and play Campbell, which is a great FCS opponent. You know, Campbell had 22nd on the highest FCS recruit class. Coach Mitchell's down there. I think him and Coach Brown played together. So we talking about a competitive and really good schedule. We'll finish off at home with Southern, and then we're taking on down to Auburn as well. In the Mobile game, somewhere in between. So, you know, 4 good home games we're looking to talk about. And we want to talk about, you know, in the season tickets, you know, people were saying that, hey, there is an increase in season tickets this year. And the increase is, I know last year we had 5 home games. This year we had 4 home games. But the cost has went up. You know, cost has went up for a lot. So we wanted to make sure that our tickets are compatible. But we do have the lowest season tickets in the conference. You go check the season tickets, FCS. We do have the lowest season tickets. So we want to encourage everyone to come out and support season tickets. There's no way that Jackson State University should have 25,000 season tickets. Again, first 500 season tickets purchases will receive a ticket to Mobile. So we want to put that out as a promotion. March 1st is that date, which is 2 days away. And, you know, before we go on to the schedule, I have a very special guest here today. She's very, very impatient. She loves Jackson State. And she's just going to say one thing. And, you know, I got to take this time for my daughter. You know, I got girls. I love my girls. And when I tell you she's passionate about Jackson State, just tell her one thing. What you going to say for baby? Go what? Go Tigers. There we go, baby. That's my girl, baby. So, you know, that's what it's all about. And we got to start them off young. Start them off young. So she's just going to want to do that all day. So I wanted to make sure she got an opportunity to do that. But, you know, that schedule we're very excited about. You know, our schedule, I think it's a very competitive schedule. And it also gives our fans to be able to travel and come out and support us in 50,000 strong. There's no way we should be 50,000 strong every single game, every single weekend. All 4 home games should be 50,000 strong. There's no doubt in my mind. So let's come together as one. You know, we had some success today. We had a lot of success. But, you know, as I told them earlier, that was just advertising. You know, we still got the entree. We still got the, you know, the dessert. And we still want to, you know, get that late night dinner. So, hey, you know, let's come out and let's support Jackson State. This is just a start. You know, we can continue to win championships. I told President Hudson, I can get used to doing, you know, passing out championship rings. I can get used to releasing balance, and that's what Jackson State is all about. So this is not something that Jackson State has just started doing. We're building on the tradition of Jackson State University. Let me help everyone understand that. Ashley Robinson did not start this tradition. Jackson State has a rich tradition. Ashley Robinson is going to build on this great tradition at Jackson State University.
Yes, sir. Well said. Well said. A couple of quick stabs of some of the things you dropped. Season tickets are going to go on sale in 2 days. That's March 1st. And the first 500 people out there that buy season tickets, you're going to get an additional ticket to that game down in Mobile as we recognize our Hall of Famer, Robert Brazile. One thing about our athletic director, Ashley Robinson, he is not in the business of taking games out of Jackson unless it is very advantageous for us to do so. You best believe that Robert Brazile in the city of Mobile put something on the table that makes that very attractive to us. So season tickets go on sale March 1st. First 500 purchases get an additional ticket to that. One thing to Mobile, one thing I heard you, Brother AD, tell Coach Prime, when we talked about the other day, those 4 games at home, you paused and said, no, Coach, it's 5 games at home because we're going to host the play.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And that's what we're looking at. That's what we did last year. We'll continue that tradition, and we want to continue to be consistent in what we do. So, you know, very excited about that. You know, I want to change it a little bit, though. I mean, I cannot get on a segment like this and not talk about Tamika Reed. I mean, you talking about exciting, young. I mean, she's done a really, really good job. And I mean, I'm so proud to be her athletic director. I'm so proud of her, just her poise, fruity. And the things she's done, this program was really, really down in 2018 when she took over. She's really did some really, really exciting things. Right now, we become a 14-0 in the conference. She's really doing a really, really, really good job in building the program. And you look at the recruiting. When was the last time Jackson State women's basketball had 6 or 7 Penny does in the team? So she's done a really, really good job recruiting the state of Mississippi, and that's what you want to do. You want to be consistent with her. So we have to make sure that we continue to support her and what she's doing for our women's basketball program. She's done a really, really good job. A woman of great character, great integrity, have that winning pedigree. She's a very, very competitive person. I've been knowing her a very, very long time. And if you didn't have a chance to meet her and talk to her, just have one conversation with her, and you'll see why she's successful. You'll see why she's so competitive. She's always challenging. She's always challenging, her student athletes to be successful. So, I want to say I really, really appreciate her. We're really on to something, when it comes to women's basketball. And she's done a really, really, really good job. Coach Brent, we last 5, we dropped 1, but we won 4 out of the last 5. You can't talk about basketball in the state of Mississippi without talking about Wayne Brent. He's done a really, really good job. Don't be surprised if the Tigers get in the tournament. You see some exciting things. So, don't be surprised. I'm a basketball guy. So I know what definitely can happen in basketball. And, across the board, Coach Omar Johnson, baseball, Kevin Montgomery, softball, Gabby Moore, tennis, our bowling program, just all our programs now are really, really doing God. And the legend, Coach Rose Washington, she's done a really, really good job, with that volleyball program. She's a Jackson State alum. Mark Thorne, the track program, another Jackson State alum. Just some great, really, really great coaches. Coach Ted, I call it Dr. Ted, our soccer program. He took over a program that was in 10th place. You go from 10 to 3 and 4, you're building that program and just change the culture of our program. So, I have a great group of coaches. I love my coaches. I love the energy. I love the excitement. Ashley Robinson is aggressive, so aggressive people. I got to have aggressive people around me. In order to be successful, you got to have that energy. You got to be aggressive, and that piggybacks on your student athletes and piggybacks on your team. And again, my staff. I have a great staff. My assistant vice president, Kivler, she's able to keep the day-to-day for me where I can go out and raise money, build a program, and make sure that everything is getting done on a day-to-day basis. Dr. Scott just added my guy Dwayne Lewis, Associated PR, and new media. Just great staff. And all my directors, all my equipment managers, all my managers, all my students. I couldn't do this, Chuck, without good people around me. It's not about Ashley Robinson. It's about us as a whole. And also getting someone to buy into your vision, what you're trying to do here at Jackson State. So we did all this together. My staff, my coaches, my student athletes, my passionate alumni, my supporters, the city of Jackson, state of Mississippi. We all come together as one. There's no bigger Jackson State University. Like I said when we was at the Capitol, a strong Jackson State needs a strong city of Jackson. So we got to continue to do what we do. And I can't speak enough about the leadership of President. I've been in 3 or 4 institutions, and it's hard to build an athletic program without support of the president. The president has a lot of responsibilities. He makes it a responsibility to make sure the athletics is getting the support that they need. And I can't say enough about him, and just his spirit, his love, and his passion for Jackson State University. You got athletic director, you got band director, you got president. We are all JPS guys. We are all City of Jackson. We can trickle down to some of our coaches. It's just a love and a passion for Jackson State. And I tell people all the time, this is more than a job for me. It's some passion and it's some love. And I appreciate my supporters. I appreciate my alumni, my fans, and I appreciate all the people that challenge me. All my social media people that love Ashley Robinson, that don't know Ashley Robinson been a leader a long time. I was a point guard. So you let them know that, Church. I've been a leader a long time. Let them know I was the only assist leading record in Jackson at Mississippi Valley. I only won a couple of championships. I only played for the great Osmond Jordan. I only played at Murray High School. I only played with legends like Mo Williams and different others. So, just let them know that, this is just, it didn't just start for all the people that think that they know, I'm just another person. Ashley Robinson is a great leader. And you know where I'm coming from, Chuck. So I hope you record that and put that out there as well.
We'll put that out as his own special segment and underscore the echo. But let me say some things real quick, when you mentioned Coach Reed and that record that she's on, has also recently been recognized as the only head coach, male or female, HBCU or otherwise, that is undefeated in conference in this year, in this season of play. So that's a hell of a testament to what she's been able to accomplish. And let me also say, since the last time that you were on a few weeks ago, your door is always open. You have also signed an extension through 2026 to stay here with the Jackson State Tigers. So hats off to you and your leadership, and President Hudson recognizing what you bring to the table and locking you in for some years to come as the tip of that spear for athletics, because your open door policy, your thick skin, your willingness to have those tough conversations with alumni and the fan base, with the folks on social media, you have been an open door. And you have always been informative in letting people know exactly what's happening, and more importantly, why it's happening. That Ashley Robinson just didn't fall off a turnip truck. He kind of knows what he's doing as it relates to building programs and building on tradition. So hats off to you, my man. And I know that we're in Texas Southern tonight to take care of business. But while we have you here, next week we're back at home Thursday night for a home game against UAPB. But Valley is coming Saturday, March 5th. And we have Alumni Night. Talk to us about Alumni Night and what your vision is for that final regular season home game a week from today.
A very special night. Alumni Night is very special. Alumni is very special to me. And that's something that we really want to do. One thing that we looked at, we're going to do a banner reveal for our alumni and my former teams and our championships. And we want to encourage all our teams to come back to support, Jackson State, but also to bridge that gap and make sure we all come together as one. Jackson State has a rich tradition. A lot of championships, a lot of great coaches. We want to bring y'all back. We want to, showcase them and show them, support for them. So that's going to be very challenging. We're going to have a lot of discussion events that we put together. We'll work with David, Director of Alumni Relations for the university. So we'll put some things together for that particular night, some surprises we have. But, one thing, we are going to do some banner reveals that night. And I think it's going to be a very special night. So we're very excited about that. And I'm glad you brought that up. So very excited about that night as well. And we encourage everyone to come out. There's no way that the AAC shouldn't be 5,000 to 6,000 strong Saturday night as we closed out our last home game, senior night, alumni night. So, we encourage everyone to come out and support us. And, I've been talking to a lot of alumni. Just before today, I don't know if you remember the 95, 96 team, Doug Williams just gave me a call. And he wants to meet, and we're going to meet next week and talk about, their particular team, honoring their team and doing some things. So I encourage all our championship teams to come back. I know I understand it's been a lot of teams that didn't receive rings. My goal is, as long as, I'm here as an athletic director, every team that wins the championship will receive a championship ring. And I think our athletes deserve that. We don't give that to them. We're not doing our job. We're not making it an experience, the best experience. So, it's going to be a great night. Let's bridge this gap. Let's get all our alumni to come together. But also, any alumni, any championship teams, I encourage y'all, reach out to them. Let's meet. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can do some things to bridge that gap, to recognize those teams. Because I do want to continue to recognize our championship team and recognize our past, that paved the way for people like myself. I talk to Dr. Reed probably once a week. I had an opportunity to see Coach Bradley. So I appreciate those guys, and they really done a really good job doing this program. Coach Bradley stays on me, Dr. Reed stays on me, and I stay in contact with them guys, and I listen to them. Sometimes I've learned sometimes you have to answer the phone, and you have to be silent, and you have to listen to your greats in the history, and make sure that you put things together. You have to help them understand that it is a new generation. We do a new set of kids, so we have to do some things to make sure that we catch their eye. But you can't forget about the tradition and the history of Jackson State and the things that they've done. So we want to encourage all our alumni to come out on Alumni Night on the 5th. And we're going to have some great, exciting things and good things for any, former athletes, alumni championship teams that want to talk. I'm open. My schedule's open. If you're a Jackson State alum, I'm obligated to talk to you. I want everyone to know that. Anytime you're a Jackson State alum, Ashley Robinson is here to talk. I got an open door policy, and we want to make things happen. We want to build a stronger, continue to build a stronger Jackson State University and show people that it can be done here at the Jackson State University.
No doubt about it. There is no greater athletic director in the nation, not just amongst HBCUs, but in the whole college space than our athletic director, Ashley Robinson. Open door policy. He exists for the betterment, and everything he does is in the best interest of student athletes and the coaches. We appreciate you, Brother AD, for joining us once again on the pregame show. I think the young folks say, walk in your trap, take over your trap. Only the pregame show with athletic director Ashley Robinson, his aggressiveness will go into Texas Southern Gym and go live.
There you go. I want to appreciate it. Thank you, Nilla. Thank you.
Where's our AD Ashley Robinson. And let me get another opportunity here. I want to introduce somebody. We work real close with our old school. We call Cuvee Sports Information Directors. They got new titles and whatnot now, but this young man, he is no stranger to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. He worked at various schools around the SWAC. But I want to introduce Dwayne Lewis, who now comes to Jackson State and is our new sports information director. But I'm going to allow him to tell us what his actual title is. So.
Appreciate it, Bishop. Great to be on with you guys. I am Dwayne Lewis, the Associate AD for Public Relations and Sports Media here at the Jackson State University. I'm ready to roll, excited to be here. And if you're a Jackson State alum and supporter, and you're not fired up by what AD Ashley Robinson just said, man, we got to check it, because it's a very exciting time to be a Tiger. I'm blessed and honored to be here. Looking forward to contributing to everything that's going on here at JSU.
Man, we are blessed and fortunate to have you. You are no stranger to the SWAC and those in the media circles around. Just getting here to Jackson State in this capacity, and I see you got the Gordon red on and the logo underneath, so we know you're about that life. Talk to us about some of the things that you're looking forward to doing in this capacity as you bring your skill set to assist Athletic Director Robinson in going forward.
With certainly no doubt, the elevation of the brand, the program since Coach Prime has arrived is unprecedented. I view Jackson State University Athletics, we are a Power 5 program, and that's the approach that I bring to this. We are a national brand. Everyone knows who we are. We also saw Coach Prime on Jimmy Kimmel last night. Everyone knows the Jackson State University brand. It's my challenge and obligation and awesome responsibility to promote the best of our student athletes, both on the field, in competition, but also in the classroom and in the community. We have great coaches. We have great leaders at this university. AD Robinson mentioned a lot of the former greats that he talked to. I talked to communications great at Jackson State. I talked to Mr. Sam Jefferson this morning. Had a conversation with him, connecting those dots. He's the guy I looked up to early in my career in the 90s when I was coming through the conference. Had a great time with him, looking forward to learning more about the in-depth history of JSU and tying in the past with the present for this bright future that we have for everyone involved with Jackson State University.
Yeah, Sam Jefferson, man, what a true legend just in black sports and black sports media, man. So to see that y'all are talking and communicating, he's been a guest on the pregame show. And during the time when he was at Jackson State, my mother was director of public information at Jackson State. So I grew up under that tutelage as well.
Yes.
And I know you want everything to be bright and shining at the forefront. We heard AD Robinson's daughter say, "Go Tigers." If you don't, I would like to submit Chuck's resignation and we hire her. Because the delivery and the passion that she brought, that I know Chuck can't hear me, so that's
why I looked at him. He's like, "What y'all talking about?" You're still on the team, Chuck. You're still on the team. That's all. You're still on the team.
We are excited, man, to be working with you because the pregame show, a lot of folks think of it because of Coach Prime's gravitas that it is a football show, but we cover all the sports and look forward to promoting that brand. Where do you see some of the opportunities? Because you just mentioned, Coach Prime was on Jimmy Kimmel last night. Jimmy Fallon, the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show last night. What do you see as some of those opportunities going forward as we move into different markets through social media, our presence with traveling on these road games and involving alumni? What are some of the opportunities you're looking forward to grasping?
The blessing is every program here at JSU is highly competitive, using that top 3 or 4 to compete for championships. So every game that we play is important, whether we're at home in Jackson, on the road here in Houston, to engage our alumni. I'm really big on telling our own story. So you'll see a lot of stories coming through our website and on social media, telling our story from our perspective about the good. That's sometimes not as good with our teams. Every now and then we're going to get outscored. But really encouraging our fans to follow us on social media, go to the website, follow our platforms. We're going to tell our story using our mechanisms, and we need to share, retweet, and get that brand up. It really starts with us. And I know AD Robinson over his career has talked to corporate partners, corporate sponsors. They want to know how much alumni engagement you have. And it doesn't seem like a big thing, but a click on the story leads to engagement. And it shows the involvement of the alumni, of the fans, the supporters, and clicks really do lead to money. The more clicks we have watching shows like this, watching JSU programming with our website, things of that nature. That means revenue when we go out and talk to corporate sponsorships. But hey, what's your engagement? We can say we have 25,000 watching online when we watch JSU Sports Network. We've got 10 to 15,000 with I Love Pregame Show. There's so many ways that the click has value. It's very important not to pass on the story. Even if you don't read the whole story, click on it, open it, like it. Let's get our engagements up beyond just the hits and the traffic. And that really does in a very, very efficient way drive value to our university.
Brother, AD's daughter just replaced Chuck, and now you just replaced me, because that is the music that I sing every day on this show, particularly with NIL and our student athletes now being able to market and capitalize off their image, name, and likeness, that when folks share and like and subscribe and click, it means so much to the university and to the brand. It seems like a simple thing, but those algorithms are very complex, and you're doing a lot for the university just by sharing and clicking those positive stories that are out there. So, man, hats off to you and the work you're doing. Anything that Chuck and I can do to assist you now and going forward, we're all on board, and we appreciate you joining the program today.
Absolutely. Thank you. Looking forward to it, Neely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Now, you've been replaced, but he's going to tell you by who.
Oh, my God. You knew it was coming, sir, at some point. Oh, man. As we get ready for tonight, it is a 5:30 tip-off for the women, 7:30 tip-off for the men. They follow right after. But Jackson State, Texas Southern, we're here from the HPE Arena. Nearly just over my shoulder, we talk about this synergy sometimes between Jackson State and Texas Southern. One of the all-time greats in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Jim Hill, Harry Machine Gun Kelly. His number is retired right over my shoulder. Of course, Kevin Granger, who is the AD here in Texas Southern. He is a Mississippi native from Scuba, Mississippi. Kevin Adams, Provine great. He does Juicy. Yes, he does the color commentary.
Shout out to Juicy. You got to throw the yo up to Juicy.
I'll let you guys have that. But a lot of family synergy, if you will, between Texas Southern and Jackson State. Should be an awesome game tonight.
Yeah, it should be, man. And again, sometimes we take these opportunities to get away from the stuff, nuance of the game, bring on stuff like AD Robertson and SID. I know it's associate athletic, but we still old school say SID, but to bring on Lewis and Robertson fans to hear directly from them what's took place with the schedule, what's coming to unfold, season tickets going on sale Tuesday, March 1st. First 500 purchases, you get an additional ticket. You get one in your pack that gets you into the game down in Mobile. So a lot of stuff happening this week at Jackson State. Cannot forget again, come out Thursday. We're back at home for final road regular conference schedule. We got UAPB on Thursday, and then we have Valley on Saturday for Alumni night. So that'll be Saturday versus Valley. But today, first things first, we're in Houston. Walking your trap, take over your trap. Chuck is there in Houston, and we're going live from somebody else's arena. MF, man.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That's what Coach Reed said. Look, it's going to be what it's going to be, and it is what it is. So here we are. And Lady Tigers are going to tip off at 5:30, I think it is, Chuck. Yes, 5:30 and followed by there at 7:30. I think Texas Southern is orchestrating some kind of gray out, if you will, for tonight. So we're asking all the Tiger fans there in Houston to make sure you come on out. Don't leave Chuck there by himself. We know he can fight that whole arena by himself. Him and AD Robinson and Brother Lewis. So looking forward to it tonight, man. This is, the ladies are an historic one. More consecutive wins than ever in conference history. As AD Robinson, Coach Reed has been recognized as the only remaining undefeated in conference D1 coach in the nation. So quite some history. And the men are not out of it. We have talked ad nauseum, using Chuck's words, about this schedule and how nobody in the SWAC is unbeatable. You're looking for that favorable match in the tournament. The men were on the court, 1 point loss down at Alcorn on some crucial free throws and a rebound. Some woulda, coulda, shoulda, had the lead, if you will. But I think the men are peaking at the right time as we go into March.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very important time of the month, if you will, for both of our basketball teams. The women, you mentioned, they won 14 in a row. This Texas Southern women's basketball team, they're peaking a little bit at the right time. They won 4 in a row. They have a young lady by the name of Adriana Aben. She is second in the SWAC and scoring right behind Amisha Williams-Holiday. She's averaging 18 points a game. Another young lady, Ataya Bridges, she's sixth in the SWAC and scoring, averaging 15 points a game. So it's great matchups. We talk about Deja Rogan going against Ataya Bridges, Adriana Aben. She's sort of what we call a stretch forward, if you will. She'll go down on the block and she'll work out on the perimeter. So, and you mentioned it in our last pregame show, what teams are trying to do, go with a 3-guard lineup and kind of pull Amisha out of the paint a little bit. So we'll see what the strategy is tonight for Texas Southern against Jackson State. So should be very interesting. Of course, the guys, like you said, trying to peak at the right time. They had won a few games in a row before a little stub on the toe this past weekend against Alcorn, 1-point loss. But I tell you what, the parity on the men's side of the ball is what we talk about all the time on the Dr. Bill show. But you talk about the SWAC from 1 through 8, it could be a dogfight any night.
Yeah, I'll second thing first. Can be a dogfight, like you said, Chuck, for anything on the men's side. When this seeding shakes out, you can take the worst team in the SWAC record-wise. And truly, and I'm not talking about some March Madness one moment in time. I mean, sincerely, the worst team in the SWAC can beat the best team in the SWAC on any given night. The margin of error on the men's side of the ledger is razor thin. When you look at our own beloved I Love Jackson State Tigers on the men's side, no one has blown us out, Chuck. We have been in every game. When we get that 60 to 65 points and we're holding our opponents to what our defense's season average is, holding people around 55, 58 points, anything can happen. And we're peaking at that right time and just a few milliseconds away from winning 5 in a row. We lost by 1 point down at Alcorn. But if you flip the page back to the ladies' side, undefeated, but tonight is going to be a tough matchup. Because again, when Texas Southern came to Jackson, got in a little foul trouble, had to make some adjustments that got them out of character of their team. But tonight at home, and now having jailed some more, you're looking at facing a different team, a team that when you look at the top 10 in scoring, we have Amisha. They have 2 or 3 players in the top 10 in scoring. Deja Rogan is just outside, coming in number 12. We have Amisha scoring about 19 to 20 a game. Their leading scorer is scoring 18.7 a game, right there on the heels. And I think what you said, I love Chuck. I think Chuck is in the needed coaching tree. You got to go back and look at how Nick Saban, once worked for Bill Belichick at the Browns. I think that Chuck Bishop is in the basketball coaching tree of Neely because he's sounding a lot like Neely out there. They're going to try to stretch the floor, Chuck. They're going to try to get our bigs out of the paint to come out and guard the perimeter. Now, if they don't knock down those shots, it is what it is. But that's the only chance they have. You got to slow the game down to limit our possessions, and you got to get our bigs out the paint and make them go guard to guard. So look for them to play a little up-tempo, little transition game. Have, 3 guards on the floor at a time to kind of make our bigs move their feet on defense, tire them out. Senator Cooper knows the game better than anybody. So everything's coming tonight but the kitchen sink.
No doubt. Interesting factoids going into tonight's game with the women's game. Texas Southern, they are one of the leaders in the SWAC in terms of 3-point field goal percentage. Jackson State, number 1 in the SWAC in terms of stopping opponents from hitting their threes. So, an interesting contrast there on the men's side of the ball. Interesting factoid that I took a look at this morning. Texas Southern does not have one player that averages double digits. So this is going to be a defensive battle tonight when you talk about 2 of the top teams in the SWAC in terms of defense. And it's a little bit different personality for this Texas Southern men's basketball team. They normally have 1 or 2 scorers that are somewhere in the top 10, but not this year. They get it done more so on the defensive side of the ball, and they have 1 through 8 guys that are averaging 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 points per game. So it's a real team effort.
Yeah, it is a team effort, man. They're like I'm going to say something for our man John Hardy out there. They are like an organized kitchen, man. From the dishwasher to the chef, everybody is playing a part. Everybody is doing something in the kitchen to get those dishes out. And, Texas Southern men under head coach Johnny Jones, a legend in his own right, and a legend just in college basketball, period, from his LSU days to now. He has those guys ready to play. And if you're on his team and you have on a uniform, you're going to contribute something. And so they don't have a guy that's getting 35 points and everybody else 2 points. They're rolling out 5, 6, 7 guys that are all chipping in 9 each. Like, everybody is busy. It is Memphis Grizzlies grindhouse blue collar basketball. And they came into this season and everybody was saying, foregone conclusion, Texas Southern is going to run away with it. But then you had Southern Baton Rouge do some things. You have Alcorn do some things. You've had Jackson State do some things in February. So tonight is really pivotal. You're making up words. I'm doing like Chuck over here, making up big words. Tonight is really a pivot as we go into March and that tournament and that seeding. Psychology wise, you need to get wins late in February so you can believe you can win in March.
No doubt about it. Going to be a great one. And then to bookend that, the Prairie View A&M Panthers, they're getting a little hot now. Though the men's side of the ball, they've won 4 in a row. So they had a player of the week this past week. So we have to get through tonight, and we'll look at Monday. But that's going to be a tough matchup on Monday. Not to be outdone, Neely, man. I call you Mr. Boots on the ground. Great stuff in terms of covering some Jackson State practices this past week, man. I tell you, those guys, they put me in the work, bro. As Rob J walking through.
Rob J. Tell Rob J. Hey, Rob J, another noob. You can't throw it. I don't have you on purple alert. If you do this, Chuck, I'm going to have you on purple alert, Rob J. The Tiger Sports Network, you can always tune in and hear our good friend Rob J. We try to hit this thing with everything we can. So you can catch the pregame show all the way to the sporting events leading up to tip-off. Then we turn it over to Rob J. and his cohorts live as well. So it's a tag team effort, that 1-2 combination, jab, then that overhand right is coming. You got to work off the jab, Chuck. You got to.
There you go. Work off the jab.
Establish the distance. Establish the distance. Pow. That's all it takes. But yeah, Chuck, we have spent some time. There's a clip that we have Tigers putting in that work that we can show you guys. So Roy's going to get ready to pull that up, that second clip, Roy. We spent some time with the Tigers off-season conditioning drills at the Walter Payton. And so you're going to be seeing some special segments on our YouTube channel. And we're getting ready to close out our time with Coach Prime and Country Prime. So that's going to roll into this last couple of days, February, first week of March. So you're going to check those remaining segments out too. But let's take a look at what the Tigers of football have been up to in their off-season conditioning work at the Walter Payton Complex, 1400 Lynch Street.
Hey, move that toe. Move the toe. All up in there. On the defensive side. Travis! Oh. We got this, baby. Yeah! Yeah! They ain't talking about nothing. Cam! Come on!
Tiger put in that work.
But one thing about that clip, Chuck, you saw Travis Hunter on one side of that tug of war and Kevin Colburn on the other. It was the receivers versus the defensive backs. It was the offense versus the defense. And you saw the wide receivers were able to pull those DBs, which included the #1 recruit in the nation, across the block and off the block. You got to protect the block, Chuck.
Competition, and more competition there.
Yeah, we got another clip that's an expanded view of some other drills that the Tigers are doing as they get ready for conditioning. And mark your calendars. We got more than a month away, but April 9th will be the culmination of Blue and White Week. And we're going to talk about the 80s golf tournament, some other things. But mark your calendars for Saturday, April 9th, the Blue and White game. That's what they're building up to. So, Roy, let's take a look at that expanded clip of workouts that the Tigers are doing for off-season conditioning.
Do not walk to the next station. Go finish, Tom. Go finish. Go finish. Go finish. Go finish. Finish. Go finish.
Yeah. For those of you that want to know, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him, but fuck him, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go. The hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still even the starstruck. Humble through opportunities given, despite the fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together, finish it. She connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote. His will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds. The skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% clear, 100% clear. Cause writing is ill. He would have thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames. And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Why you had the stupidest verse? This dude is the truth. Now everybody giving him guest spots and stocks.
When you're up, get better. Get better. Ready to go.
20% skill, 15% concentrated power. Hope he gets shot. 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime. This shit is equally dope. I don't believe the kind of shit that comes out of this kid's throat. He's not your everyday guy. He knows how with what he's making his way to the top. He don't know a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birthday doesn't stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. Let him rock in the booth. He'll get you buzzing quicker than a shot. Rockin' with juice. Him and his crew are known around as one of the best. Dedicated to what they do and get 100%. Forget Mike. Nobody really knows how or why he works so hard.
These type of days be the days that what you think about if you want to do this or not.
We made our mind like we can about this.
We work. We gotta get a finish. We gotta get a finish. I know you tired. You ready? Good top. Good top. Here you go, Trey. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, yeah. Hey, finish strong, baby. 2-1. Finish strong. Quick, shallow. Come on, finish. There you go. Be a leader. Break it down. Everybody in that fight. You're a family. Get in there. Get in there and break it down. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Surround the block. Let's go. Surround the block. Let's go. Don't walk. Good. You already know what it is. Tug of war to the white line. Let me get CJ Nunley. Frankie, where you at? KJ! Hey, here we go. Back up. Back up. Work. Big Rollo. Big Rollo. That was nice. Hey, Rufus, go, baby. That's why y'all boys in there.
There you have it, man. Football team putting it into work, man. Off-season conditioning drills, tug of war, competition, more competition.
Hey, Chuck, Coach Prime's camp, you ran the 40, and it was impressive. Get off a little questionable, but when you got going, took a while to get going, but when you got going, man, you were going. Chuck, let me tell you, that linebacker drill where you saw the dropping down and doing that 4-row, Chuck, I'd still be down there on the 4-row. Like, man, roll over for what? I roll over this way. I'll roll over that way.
Well, I tell you what, Daly, we are getting close to tip-off over here at the H&P Arena here in Houston, Texas, on the campus of Texas Southern University. The women's team, they have entered the building. Some of the assistant coaches, they come out here. Ladies go through a little bit of a walkthrough, a little shoot around beforehand, but they're getting prepped back there in the women's locker room area. But I tell you what, man, this is going to be an electric atmosphere tonight here on the campus of Texas Southern University.
Yeah, man, Chuck, we appreciate you being there live on location, walking your trap, the pregame show, Texas Southern Arena. We've had E. Robinson on, New Sports Information Director Lewis on. Great conversation about the Tiger football program and our basketball programs. Don't forget, as we close out, March 1st, March 1st, season tickets for football on sale. First 500 season ticket purchases get an additional ticket. You get a freebie for that classic down in Mobile. Also next week, next Thursday, back home, UAPB coming to the AAC, and then Saturday closing it out with Alumni Night and Senior Night for our Tiger players. We're going to be there for that final regular season game at the AC. So I want everybody to come out Thursday and Saturday, to the AC. But first things first, we're in Houston tonight taking on Texas Southern, and Monday we got pre-review for this Texas two-step. It's going to be pivotal. I can't say pivotal. Pivot games. It's a pivot game for the men on both sides. Really need to keep that trajectory going up because now, Chuck, we're finishing up those 3 phases. We got through December, which is non-conference. January, February, closing to a close for the conference, getting ready for the tournament. Everybody can be beat in the SWAC this year. I still like our men's odds to get it done. And also the Lady Tigers, man, keeping that streak going.
No doubt about it. Finish strong is the theme going from February into March. No better place to put a pin in today's version of the pregame show than right there. Neely, any final thoughts, buddy?
Hey, man, just watch your back. I want you to sit the other direction, man. You in hostile territory. I'm trying to watch the camera, make sure anybody coming up behind you. Because I know you in Houston, you stay. When you was in Murray, they call you strapped up shorty. So I know you got that thing on you now because they don't check you. So just watch your back down there, man. Bring back 2 W's. You and A.D. Robinson, the Lady Tigers and the Tigers, bring back 2 W's, man. Proud of you for working out down there.
Hey, as they say over here in Houston, already, no doubt about it, buddy.
Man, what you know? Already.
Yeah. We're going down tonight, buddy. I tell you what. For Bishop and Neely, the pregame show here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll see you next Saturday.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the pregame. With your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the pregame.